Hello everybody. Today I've got this sign that I thrifted. I'm not sure where it originally came from, but I did end up picking it up and I'm going to turn it into a nice winter sign. And so I'm starting off by cutting off all of the hanger and tags. And so I've got the color warm buff here, and I want to start out with a neutral. Now you can see how there is the lettering, and I thought for sure, I went over it a couple of times and I didn't see that it was actually engraved into the wood. It felt like it was pretty flat to me, but after I applied this first coat, I realized that it did have a very thin engraving in there, and so you can see where I'm pointing to that. So my fix is some homemade chalk paint. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker than your normal chalk paint. That way it's going to give me a lot of texture that I can layer on top. And I did go with 3 coats. Because I made that thicker chalk paint, I ended up really liking the texture, and by that third coat I ended up going in kind of like some crisscross brush strokes and just really went with the texture. I wanted to kind of make it look like it had an old world feel, maybe like a lime wash or a kind of a stucco faux look to it. And so I ended up really liking it. I might use this a little bit more in the season to my projects. And so you can see here where I just kind of lay it on thick in some crisscross brush strokes. I don't want even straight strokes all the way across. So besides that really interesting texture, it actually helped to cover the engraving on the sign. Because I want to keep this all one color, I am going to take these 3 wooden snowflake cutouts that I got from the Dollar Tree and give those the same coat of paint that I made for the sign. And I really like this warm buff. I think it's such a pretty neutral. It almost, I don't want to say like a soft pink, but and it's not an antique white. It's very pretty, maybe like abalone kind of a color. I don't know. I just really like it. And so here we go. You can see sort of the texture there a little bit with the lighting. It really has a neat, like a lime wash. I don't know if you guys have ever gone online and looked at lime wash wall decor. Very cool. There's another name for it and it's slipping my mind right now. But okay, so here is that crafter's paint. That one is called Vanilla Beige, I think, Beige Vanilla. And that is their line from Hobby Lobby, and 49 cents. Great thickness, great paint. I'm very happy so far with those. So I've got my palette knife and I'm just going to drag some of that paint right across that raised frame. And you guys, if you haven't tried this yet, I've done this in some of my other videos. If you haven't tried it, it is so fun because you just let the palette knife and the paint do the work for you. You don't have to worry about doing perfect brush strokes or anything like that. It's a very nice, creative way to add texture to your projects, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish the outline frame of this sign. I'm going to go ahead and also use my palette knife on these wooden snowflakes. I did get these at the Dollar Tree. I think they're adorable. And so I'm really liking this painting technique on here. And another neat thing to do would be to use Mod Podge instead of that paint and then add your snow or glitter on top of it. I think that is really, really neat. I'm digging this this effect, and I think I'm going to be doing this quite a bit here in the winter season because it does have that kind of a snow feel to it. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up with these snowflakes. I'm going to go ahead and use a stencil on my sign, but I wanted to add some painter's tape just for a guide. Now I did not follow my own little advice here about offloading paint. This did get a little bit messy, but I did a cleanup at the end and it turned out okay. Plus I added a little bit more texture to the front of the sign and it all ended up blending together pretty well. And so just remember, offload that paint. I guess I wasn't thinking, I haven't done a stencil in a while, so I got a little excited. But yeah, so I just took some more of that warm buff and went around the edges and cleaned it up. Here's where I'm taking some more of that warm buff paint and just cleaning up around where I had some of the bleed through. I did end up adding some more texture to the front of this sign, and you'll see here in just a minute how it all really kind of works together. There are some easy fixes when it comes to crafts, and then there's times when you just got to trash it. But I think I saved this one, and I don't know, we'll see. I'm taking a painter's brush and I'm just kind of dry brushing or dry stippling white paint onto the face of this. I want to go around the edges and, just little parts here into the center and just soften everything. I want to add a lot of visual interest and texture to this sign. I'm going to go ahead and do that same stippling onto the snowflakes. Let's add a hanger to this. I've got some heavy gauge wire that I get at the hardware store. I'm just going to cut a piece to size. I do like to wipe mine down with a cloth. Sometimes you can get a little bit of soot, I guess, from the original production of the wire, and so I always wipe mine down first. And so I'm just going to take some needle nose pliers and give those a couple of twists and fold them up. This is one of my favorite ways to add hangers to my pieces. It really goes a long way, and it's a lot of fun. It's very stable. You can add a lot of things to the wire, and so I do like to use wire with my pieces. Okay, let's go ahead and get our snowflakes attached. I was going to use twine originally, but I changed my mind, and that is because the twine would have, because it has a natural twist in it, I felt like it would turn the snowflakes in different directions. I didn't really want that. If this is going to be hanging off of a shelf or somewhere, I didn't want those to kind of turn their own way. So I opted to go with a piece of ribbon. And this is a wired ribbon. It's black. That's got some white stitching along the sides, which I thought was really cute. It's going to kind of keep the neutrals, the main focus of this piece. And so what I'm doing there is just kind of eyeballing any measurement. I'm cutting 3 of the same sizes there, so it's all the way across. I was going to do them hanging in various, lengths, but I changed my mind. I wanted it all the same all the way across. So I'm going to cut 3 pieces and then hot glue and attach everything. Okay, let's get some buttons to cover the holes on the snowflakes. I know that I have these like black half circle kind of buttons, and I think they'll work perfectly for this. I really could have used any one, but I think those are going to look really cute. They're kind of classic. It kind of adds like an overall clean look to the sign. And so I am going to take some wire cutters and just cut off that back loop, I guess you could say, of the button. So this is a good way to cover up the original hole for hanging these ornaments, and it's just a quick kind of fix. I guess you could do any number of things. I could have put a bow there or added twine or something, but for this I wanted it a little bit more minimal and simple. Okay, so I want to add some depth to the sign. I really felt like it needed just a little bit something else. And so I'm going to go ahead and just dry brush this ink all the way around the edges. I do end up bringing it in a little bit and also combining it with some brown ink that you'll see here in a little bit. But this is a really fun process, and I tend to do this a lot with my projects. It's just an easy way to bring some additional depth and visual interest to my pieces. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add some hot glue to the back of this ribbon and get these snowflakes hung all the way straight across. I'm going to go ahead and add a bow to this sign. I think this ribbon is really cute with the stitching along the side. And so I'm just going to make my loop and then use, well, I kind of like tack down that top loop. And then I use a little bit more of the ribbon to hot glue in the center just to kind of tie it all together. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this snow days sign, and let me know what you think. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.